Cool. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Well, we'll go ahead and get started here. So good to see everyone. My name is Dr. Emma, if I didn't get to meet any of you guys yet.
And I'm Dr. Megan.
And we're from Auto-Ness Physical Therapy, right down the street from Fitness Quest South. And we're so excited to be sharing our elbow workshop with you today. And if you're here, I can guess you're probably here for a few reasons. You want to stay active. You probably want to move better. And you probably want to keep working out or doing the things that you love. So whether you've had elbow pain or currently have elbow pain or even knee pain, you're in the right place. We want to make this interactive with you guys because we don't want to hear us talking all the time. You guys probably don't want to hear that. So we'll get up and moving here soon. But enough about the intro. We want to make sure that the goals are basically, we are talking about how and why does elbow pain happen. We want to go over movement that you probably do in everyday life and in workouts. And then we'll do exercises to make sure that you bulletproof your elbows. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Does anyone in the room have elbow pain currently? Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about your elbow pain?
It's like in right here, but it's like going to a full extension.
Okay.
When it's painful.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where the kind of the source is the pain.
Okay. What kinds of things kind of aggravate that elbow pain?
Turning.
Turning.
Like that,
okay.
Yeah, or just like if I rest it down like that on a pillow or something like that.
Okay.
Feel it, or if it gets just pressed, there's pressure going in that direction. Just try to straighten it.
Okay. So more on the outside there, and then I saw you raise your hand.
I've had elbow pain in the past on both sides. Really, it's both arms. Like we're really like
okay.
Part right here.
Okay.
And it's really just for me like lifting my kids.
Oh. Okay.
So
yeah.
It's kind of it's a little sore. It takes me like months to go away.
Okay. So more like practical everyday life. You're lifting. Okay. Any shoulder or wrist pain that you guys have?
I have more shoulder. I don't have elbow.
Okay.
I did just my shoulder a while ago. I had frozen shoulder and I did PT. That made it better.
Okay.
But then later I did something else that aggravated. I think I might have had like a small tear. But I went in and they're basically like, the PT didn't seem to help. They sent me to the ortho and the ortho's like, I don't think you have a full tear, so I'm not going to do surgery. So
okay.
She just said like try and do some stretches and try and build it back up.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a common thing you hear with elbow pain is like, just do some stretches and it'll go away and then might come back in a few months. Might have been your story. I want to know from you guys, why would we talk about shoulder, wrist pain at an elbow workshop? Why could you guess? It's all related. How would you think they're related?
Compensating more for one.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of compensations that we see. High relationship between shoulder, elbow, and wrist. So not only is going to get elbow workshop, you're going to get shoulder and wrist workshop as well. Biggest thing is that the elbow hinge joint. It only goes up, it goes down, but the rotation it comes from shoulder, comes from wrist. So a lot of overuse. If you don't have the stability, if you don't have the mobility through your shoulder and wrist, elbow is like a middle child. It's going to do all the hard work that the shoulder and wrist should be doing. To kind of break this down a little bit more, a little bit of an anatomy lesson is that the shoulder, we'll actually pass these around so that you guys can see. Well, let me ask first, do you guys think that's a right or left shoulder? What do you think? We got it. That's all down to you. Which way are you guys looking at? Yeah, how can you tell? Yep. You're the tiebreaker here, Jonathan.
I'd say right.
Right? Left? It is a right shoulder because the collarbone's kind of on the front right there. And I really want you guys to look at this because you can see how many tendons, how many ligaments, how many bones are surrounding the shoulder. The shoulder is the most mobile joint in the body, so it requires a ton of stability. To break that down even more, you have 17 muscles around the shoulder. In comparison, you have 6 muscles in the wrist and then 3 in the elbow. 17, 6, 3. Do you guys know what muscles are at the elbow? Just some quick guesses.
Biceps, triceps.
Yep, that's 2.
Yeah.
The third one's a little bit.
Cutaneous, or it's gonna be your.
You got it.
You know some anatomy.
I know. Yeah, you're okay. So you get it. Yeah.
I mean, what else do you look for?
It's called a brachialis.
Brachialis.
Yeah. So another just elbow flexor. But you have 3 in the elbow, again, 6 in the wrist, 17 in the shoulder. If your shoulder, it doesn't have the strength, your wrist is going to have to do about 4 to 5 times the work your shoulder should be doing. Same thing with the elbow. So we're going to be focusing on how do we make the shoulder strong to make up for the work of elbow and the wrist. They talk a lot about tennis elbow. They talk a lot about golfer's elbow. What does that mean? Do you guys know tennis versus golfer's elbow? What the difference is? I know you guys have heard that term probably go around. It's kind of the same.
One's lateral, one's medial.
Yep. Do you know which one?
Well, I'm assuming this is tennis and this is golf.
Yep. Golfer's going to be medial. Tennis is on the outside. But again, what does that really mean? I really want to make this misconception clear is that tennis elbow, golfer's elbow really has to do with the overuse of the wrist muscles. So I'm going to kind of prove this to you. It's not going to be a magic trick. I want you guys to just bring your arm out just like this. You are going to find that elbow bone right here. Put your thumb on it. So this one right here. And then you're going to go just an inch below that. You should feel that muscle right there. And then you're going to bring your hand back and forth. You should feel that muscle working. It's going to be right here, Jonathan. Yeah. So you should feel that muscle going back and forth. So that's where you would usually get the golfer's elbow. You can feel the same thing on the other side, and that's your tennis elbow right there. So again, elbow pain has to do with overuse of the wrist muscles because shoulder is not working. So elbow pain really is a holistic, whole body dysfunction, really. And then we're going to have Dr. Megan go through some of the statistics around
Now
that.
that we kind of talked about, we know shoulder, the wrist are related. Let's go through like a little bit of statistics. So for those of you who have kind of the elbow pain, I know you said you're a physician, but yeah, what's your occupation and what do you do for fun?
I'm an anesthesiologist. I do a lot of like this stuff, working out, like weights, working out.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So like lifting in like a group fitness class type thing. Got it. Cool. And then Mark. What's your occupation? What do you do for fun?
I'm a marketing director, and for fun, I play with my kids and coach them and stuff like that.
Nice.
Got it. Marketing director, do you do a little bit more computer work or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So going from there, what percentage of people who have tennis elbow get it from playing tennis? What do we think?
I'm not that many.
10%.
10%? 20? Not that many?
Probably from other activities.
Ding, 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 you got it. So it's actually about 5% actually get it from playing tennis. So what do they get it from? They get it from repetitive lifting, typing, that wrist extension, that's where the wrist comes in, the lifting, that's where shoulders come in, anything where you're gripping, using tools a lot, that's where people are getting this tennis elbow from. And that's again on the lateral aspect of it. So going from there, we talk a little bit about gripping things. Like you gotta grip weights, you gotta grab your kids, stuff like that. So roughly 50% decreased grip strength in an elbow that has like tennis elbow type pain. So gripping is definitely a huge part of it, and you have the decreased grip strength in that side due to the tennis elbow being affected. Okay? So this is kind of why, like whole picture, why we don't just talk about elbow, we're talking about shoulder and wrist as well, because we want to get more of like a holistic picture of you. And kind of going forward into our next part of the workshop is going to be looking at you from a perspective and movement analysis as well. And that's kind of what we do here at Auto-Ness, is we kind of take everything into account and not just the elbows. There's always so much more going on.
Yep, so we're going to go into our movement of the day today, and that's going to be a push-up. So if you already worked out, you get to do more push-ups, but we're going to have everyone get into a push-up position. And when you do this, I want you to kind of look around, kind of talk about to us, what do you know about proper push-up mechanics? And then let us know if you have pain with the push-up. So we'll go ahead and have everyone in push-up position. Don't do too many because we're going to be doing lots of push-ups. And then go ahead and do 5 push-ups here. All the way down, all the way up. And let us know any pain or, yeah.
Shoulder.
I feel some on my shoulder. It's not as bad as I thought.
Okay. Which shoulder?
It's mainly the right, because I kind of injured a few weeks ago, but I can also go low my left.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Just on the downward movement on the left shoulder.
Yeah.
So mostly the right, kind of in the front. Same
On the left shoulder.
top.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of in the front side.
Is
Yeah.
it more
Okay.
on the way
And
down?
also when I do some overhead lifts and stuff.
Mm.
It's like right.
Okay. Okay.
Fires up.
Yeah. Definitely some compensation, and that we'll talk about too, for sure. You're like, yeah, I probably figured that. Yeah.
Help us a little bit more.
Yeah. That's what most people do. We're gonna have Nick, if you don't mind, coming and showing us your push-up. We're gonna just break it down. So go ahead and show us push-up here. There you go. And then we'll do one more here. And you already talked about having some pain in that right shoulder.
Yeah, right shoulder's hurting. Like, it's very bottom.
At the very bottom? Okay. All right. Dr. Megan, go ahead and show us a push-up and talk through what you should be feeling.
All right, so first things first, getting into that position. Hands are not super wide. We're keeping our hands just underneath our shoulders. It's gonna feel a little bit more narrow. The second thing being, when we're going down, we're not going all the way down so that our shoulders are dipping forward. We're going down just so that our elbows are even with our body and pushing back up. They're not flared out, they're nice and tucked in, squeezing those shoulder blades in the back and coming back up.
Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah, the biggest things that we focus on in the clinic is shoulder blade squeeze, like you just talked about. Screwing those hands into the ground. You probably have heard of that. What that really does is turn on the lats for better support of your pecs. And then, like she talked about, getting those elbows right in line with the shoulder. A lot of times when people row or people do press, their elbows go way farther back, so that creates a lot of anterior shoulder ache. So let's go ahead and go through those three things. So let's go ahead and go back into push-up position. You're gonna be here. We're gonna start with that shoulder blade squeeze first without bending your elbows. And then you're gonna screw those hands to the ground. Get those elbows close to your body. Nice and slow on the way down. Shoulders and elbows are right in line with each other. You should feel a lot more activation right into those lats right there.
How does this feel for those shoulders?
Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you even say?
I would say here, Jonathan. Go ahead and squeeze here first. Good. And then you need more elbows to rotate in.
It feels really good when you feel it.
So more so like gritting those. Yeah. So you're gonna go here, but you want to screw your hands into the ground.
Because I've heard that a lot.
Bring those elbows
Yep,
in.
it doesn't have to be just
Yeah,
the
there you
point,
go.
you're good.
Nice
Push-ups.
and slow. There you go.
Burpees aren't
You should feel a little bit more activation.
We're talking push-ups here.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I still feel it some of my shoulders, maybe not
Make
as
sure you
much.
still get that shoulder blade squeeze to start.
Yeah, not as much as your shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Cool.
Let me grab Nancy. If you want to go over
Now
this
that we've
one.
done a million, how are the shoulders?
There you go. You can do name and then we're just going over push-ups. Okay. You luckily lucked out on the push-ups already. And then you can grab a seat right there.
I felt it probably a little less, so it's still helping a little
Yeah,
bit.
less tension on the shoulder.
Cool, cool. So maybe a little awkward, maybe even a little more difficult, but
Right.
you know, it's a little different than how we've been doing push-ups or how we've been taught to do push-ups in the past, which is all right. That's cool.
Okay, we're going to get into an exercise that will help directly with getting that repetition in and improving your movement quality with push-ups, with rows, because you probably are doing push-ups, you're probably doing this movement in classes already. So we want to make sure we nip this in the bud so that the next class you go to, you're already preventing injury. So we're going to pass these around. And we're going to have Dr. Megan show us the exercise here.
All right. So, band is around your wrists. We're going to be at shoulder height, almost as if we're on the ground. I want a little bit of tension in that band. And again, we're starting by squeezing those shoulder blades without even bending the elbows yet. So we start by band goes out, squeeze those shoulder blades, keeping that tension on the band. We're bringing our arm just to the parallel with our body and then pushing back out. Make sure we keep the shoulders nice and down. Just as if we're doing a push-up, we're just doing it in the air.
And then I'm going to pick on Jonathan just a little bit. So go ahead and bring your elbows in so you can see how your shoulders are. Yep, so this is where you need to squeeze your shoulder blades down here and relax up here. So go ahead and get your arms out
By
here.
getting these out, we
Squeeze.
actually activate
There you go.
the
Nice.
muscles back here.
Good. And And then for you, Mark, especially on your left side, this is actually a good time to probably look in the mirror and see where your shoulder is in relationship to your elbow. So you would probably have to turn to the side to see where that relationship is, because I see when you bring your arms close to your body, so again, bend your elbows. Good. This shoulder tends to rotate forward. So what this should feel like is when you bring your arm in, you should chase that. There you go.
Like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and go again. Yeah. You're going to get a lot better back workouts with this type of movement.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Elbows nice and tucked in, close to your body.
Nice.
Decreases the stress on these guys.
How did that turn out? Just being able to get the shoulder blades down a little bit better?
Not as right there, but I felt, yeah, I felt forward.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, that's kind of the aim right there, is how do we get those back muscles to help
Still
support.
feels like this area is still very tight.
Yes. Yeah, and that could be from the frozen shoulder, just having that repetition of that movement going up first rather than back. Right there. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do just one set of 10, get the shoulders warmed up, and then we're going to go back and do those push-ups. So everyone, 10 more. Just getting those elbows in. Hands are screwed out. Keep those elbows close. Elbows to shoulders, get that lined up really well. Focusing there. You can also imagine, okay, how would this feel with a row? If you were to do a bent over row, same movement there.
Yep.
And also,
Cable row.
yep. Imagining too, like a chest press too. Good. You should feel all that activation. Lats, rotator cuff, shoulder blade movements there. Okay, and when you're done with 10, we're going to get back into that push-up position, and we're going to translate this new movement, this new activation to that. Good. Great.
All right. Let's do those push-ups.
Let's see those push-ups. So nice and slow. Starting again with those shoulder blades. Squeeze. Screw those hands into the ground. Shoulder and elbow alignment. Good. Good. Better. Good. All the way down. Good. Yeah, nice. There you go. Good. Squeeze your elbows in, Jonathan. Good. I'm going to have you bring your hands closer.
This?
Yeah, just a little bit closer. Your elbows tend to flare out like this.
Okay.
I want them here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have you actually bring your
Good. Squeeze your elbows in.
Yeah,
There you go. Better.
So it's always flaring the elbows out.
I know. Yeah, and then it's hard because then if you don't have the shoulder stability like you just
I
felt.
really just felt it.
Yes, yeah. So then the lats aren't strong enough to help support your shoulder. So that's when you can go wider to help support your shoulders a little bit more. But that's the activation that you need is through the lats first and the shoulder blades. How's that feeling, Nick? Your shoulder actually already looks a lot better on the right side.
Yeah, it feels better just keeping it
Yeah,
like that.
tucked and down, yes.
just as much as you can bend those elbows.
What about you, Mark? With that change on the left side, how's that feeling?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't feel the same pain.
Good.
Bringing my elbows in a little bit more and then turning the hands a little
Yeah.
bit. Just kind of keep
Yeah, the hand turns kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a lot of people mistake it like, with bench press. We should be bending that bar and have that rotation is what you want to turn on the lats.
The last time I did my shoulder here, I was quite so much weight, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Not a lot of people know that they need to break the bar to get the lats going, so that's always a big cue. This is why we teach you. Yeah, rotate into the bar. You guys can have a seat. Go ahead and shout it out. Just how did that feel different than the first time we did push-ups?
I just thought push-ups was more in your chest, but I feel like I feel all my back.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's exactly where you should feel most of the activation. So that's good. Anyone else feel a little bit different in the second time?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel much shoulder pain, but I felt like there's more like tension in here.
Yeah, a lot of these movements with chest press, push-ups, people think it's a lot. It is pec work. That should be pec work. But if it's only pec work, then it's a lot of overuse, a lot of strain on the front of the body. Okay. Any questions about what we talked about today, what we learned? No? What is everyone's number one takeaway from today? Squeeze the shoulder blades. Yep. use your back for your pec workouts.
Yeah, I mean, push-up formation.
Yeah.
That really does a big difference. It works more than your chest. It's
Right.
your triceps, your back.
Mm-hmm.
The right positioning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll even throw in a little thing with that. So we're feeling it a lot in our backs today with the push-ups. Push-ups are supposed to be pecs. They're triceps. So like that's kind of confusing. It may feel more in your back because you're not used to using your back.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why you're feeling it more in your back, because your back's playing more of a part. So not that you're still not getting a good workout, you're just feeling it in the back because you're not used to using that back.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing because it's playing its part in these movements now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you can kind of see those small adjustments making a huge impact, you're probably wondering, what's next? Well, the reality is it takes more of like a personalized approach to really have a holistic view of what's going on. How does it affect picking up your kids? How does it affect playing, coaching, being at work, and doing all these repetitive movements? You got to look at you and not so much the diagnosis of tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, because that only tells you so much information. So breaking down each part, shoulder, elbow, wrist, to really catch the whole picture.